Welcome back, everybody. My name is Taylor Martin. This is the best damn EDC. And that is a very loud truck. Welcome back, everybody. My name is Taylor Martin. This is the best damn EDC. Earlier this week, I asked you guys to submit your carries. And with those carries or submissions, submit a question so I can help you solve whatever it is that you've been trying to find an answer to. Whether that's finding a new piece of gear, filling a hole that you've been trying to fill for a while, or just a different way to carry something. Whatever the question may be, that is what these are about. This is a complete my carry. So I'm here to answer your questions. And with that said, let's do the damn thing. So the very first submission this week comes from Spencer or Spencer Purdue over on Instagram. And in this photo, we have some really nice gear actually. So first up is a Manta Triumph. That is the watch that you see in the center of the photo. Above that is his knife, which is the Chris Reeve Umnumzan. The flashlight you see here is the Rovivon Aurora A24 in titanium. There's also a pin to the left of the watch that is the Machine Era Classic stainless steel pin. And then finally to the far left of the photo is a Chris Reeve card wallet. Spencer says, the Manta Triumph is one of my nicest watches I've ever owned, although I did have a nice Tog Aqua Racer that was on the same level. I was an idiot and sold it. For my knife, I've always wanted an Umnumzan and finally got the opportunity to buy one brand new from Knifejoy. Great knife, and I see it sticking around for a long time. My Rovivon light is used daily at work for inspections. The Machine Era SS pin is amazing for how much it costs. The size is perfect, and I like that it has no clip because it's super thin and takes up little room in the pocket. Lastly, the Chris Reeve card wallet is not fancy, but it gets the job done, and that's all I could ask for. Frankly, I need all of these items on a daily basis and feel naked without them. I would be interested in adding a smaller backup blade to this carry. His question kind of adds to that, which is, I'd like to add a smaller knife that I could have for a dressier situation or a good backup blade. Let me know which one you think could be a good option. The Chris Reeve Impinda, Pena custom front flipper in any pattern with micarta, a Great Eastern Cutlery slip joint, or a small Sabenza or Nkosi with micarta inlay. Well, a small Sabenza or a small Nkosi as a backup to an Umnumzan doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Like, yeah, it's smaller, like it's not any classier, fancier, it's just scaled down. It is a little different than the Umnumzan, but you get what I'm saying. Like, it's still a Chris Reeve. The Impinda, I'm not personally a huge fan of. My recommendation, since you do seem to be a very big Chris Reeve fan, is the Mnandi. The Mnandi is just such a really nice knife. It feels more like a backup knife than, you know, a primary blade, and it's super classy too. It feels very gentlemanly, if you will. This or a Pena would be great. The Pena you could get also in a slip joint. He does make custom slip joints as well, or Great Eastern Cutlery. I think a slip joint makes a really good secondary blade. I would also say don't sleep on this right here. Something like a Ridian. This is not a Ridian, this is a Birdvis, but a Ridian, a Birdvis, or a Meads knife. All of those just super fantastic knives. Not exactly cheap, but you have a Manta, you have a Chris Reeve. Like, I think if you were looking for something super classy in this realm, any of these will work. So I hope that helps, and thank you for submitting, Spencer. The second submission this week comes from Ryan Kennedy or Brothers Blades over on Instagram. And in this photo, we have a Chris Reeve Sabenza 31 in a Tanto blade, a Zero Feud CUP, which is the compact utility pouch. There's a big Idea Design mini bolt action pin inside there, as well as a 52 Graves Camo Death Cookie, a SOG Power Pint, an Olight i3E EOS, and a Frankie's Hankies Mini Topo Hank. Ryan says, "Hi all, I'm looking to find both a titanium USA-made mini pin and a USA-made mini flashlight in titanium to complete my gray theme. I really use my knife a lot and love this gray CF pouch the girlfriend got me." So for a titanium mini pin, although this one is not titanium, tactile turn. This is the bolt action mini, and it's actually my favorite tactile turn size. Not everybody likes a pin this small, but this I believe will fit in that pouch. And I don't know that you're gonna find a titanium pin made in America that's smaller or better than this right here. It just doesn't exist to my knowledge. There's a side click too, but I prefer the bolt action from Tactile Turn. They're just super snappy, a lot of fun to mess with, but Tactile Turn gets my vote for mini pin from America. As far as flashlights, your options go down significantly. The only mini titanium flashlight that's made in America that I know of is going to be the titanium Prometheus Beta QRV2. That's the only one to my knowledge. Like JW Customs, this is titanium made in America. Okluma titanium made in America, they're not gonna fit in that pouch. So really, as far as I know, this is the only option. EagTac, don't think that's American made, pretty sure it's not. Yeah, I might be missing something, but if anybody in the comments can help, a titanium flashlight made in America being small, like those three things is really, really, really difficult. And I do think this is one of, if not the only option. So these are not exactly easy to come by. If you check the Prometheus website, they say they're doing monthly drops, but I don't know how regular they're doing them. Like I don't know if they're actually doing monthly because I don't keep up, but yeah. That's the only one I can recommend. Sorry. So I hope that helps. And thank you for submitting, Ryan. And while we're on the topic of American-made pins, I want to thank our sponsor for today's video, Tactile Turn. You guys are already probably pretty familiar with Tactile Turn just by how much we talk about them here in the EDC Weekly and your submissions, but Tactile Turn was one of the very first fully machined pin manufacturers, and they make heirloom quality bolt action and side click pins in 3 different sizes. You have a regular, short, and a mini, as well as really, really tough mechanical pencils. All of those come in 4 different materials: titanium, copper, bronze, and zirconium. They're made extremely well right here in America in Dallas, Texas. Tactile Turn pins are something that you can buy, use, abuse, create your own story, and then pass down to your kids. Like, they are that tough and well made. And Tactile Turn has also started doing these seasonal limited releases where they do a custom colorway with a theme, and the most recent being the Nexus. This one is a hat tip to the cyberpunk genre with a glossy white body, a blue 2-tone circuit pattern on the clip, and fuchsia accents on the side button and the clip screw. There's no limit on how many of these are being made, but they're only available until December 31st, and after that, they will never make them again. So if you're interested in one, I would recommend getting one before they're gone. And also, if you didn't know, Tactile has expanded into the knife world, and they currently have 2 models. The first of which is the Bear, which is a really high quality and thin, very thin and slicey slip joint knife. It weighs in at just 1.8 ounces or lighter depending on the handle material, and it legitimately disappears in the pocket. And the other model is the Rockwall. This is a compact liner lock model with really clean lines and a super deep carry pocket clip. This thing punches well above its weight for what it is. Tactile Knife also has a few more models in the pipe, like the Dreadeye, which is a small compact EDC fixed blade, as well as an ambidextrous folder. So if you want to stay up to date on Tactile Turn and Tactile Knife releases, hit the links in the description down below, but also give them a follow over on social media so you'll know about all the future drops and releases and new models coming out. So thank you again one more time to Tactile for sponsoring this video. So the next submission comes from Cole, or gear related, over on Instagram, and this one jumped out at me. So typically with these Complete My Carries, I read the descriptions before I pick the photo, and I did that with this one, but it just kind of caught me off guard a little bit because looking at this, it literally looks like it could be my carry. Like, legitimately could be my carry from just last week. So in this photo, we have an Apple Watch Ultra with the green Alpine loop, which is the one I have. There's a Restock Heirloom Hitchhiker in olive drab. Don't have one, but I wish I did. There is a Victorinox Rambler with titanium daily custom scales. There's a Chris Reeve Umnumzon, an iPhone 13 Pro Max with a quad lock mag case, a Streamlight MicroStream USB, and finally a SOG power pint in the far right of the photo. Like, seriously, it just looks like a photo I would take with the gear that I carry. Kind of weird. It just caught me off guard. Anyway, Cole says, "Hey Taylor, I've been a long time subscriber / fan of your stuff since around 2017. I think the first video I watched of yours was you making a wallet that was similar to the Popov leather 5-card wallet, and that actually led me to picking one of those up. A lot of the items in my carry are newer, and that's why most of it somewhat blends together in the green and titanium color scheme. I've been wearing an Apple Watch for like 4 years now, and the only issue I've had with them is battery life, so when the new Ultra came out, I knew it was time for an upgrade. I've been eyeing the Restock Heirloom Hitchhiker wallet ever since I saw it in a few of your videos, and I've missed a few carry commission drops you've had, but also was able to snag one in this awesome olive drab leather, and that's what kind of inspired the rest of the green in my carry. The Rambler is my favorite 58mm Swiss Army knife, and I primarily use it as a grooming tool, and I keep it in my front watch pocket. I've only had the CRK Umnumzon for a few weeks, but I instantly fell in love with it. I carried a small Sabenza 31 before this, so I wasn't new to the CRK feel, and surprisingly my Zon has already broke into where I can easily Spidey flick it and can use the glass breaker as a front flipper. I started using a quad lock case about 1.5 years ago when I got my Honda Grom, and to me, quad lock is the best option for mounting your phone to anything, and now I don't think I could go without the finger ring phone stand. I agree. That is my phone and the case that I use. It's so good. Thanks so much for all your inspiration and all you do for the community. Carry on. And Cole says, his question, I love this little micro stream and it sometimes rotates out with the macro stream USB, but I'm wanting to upgrade my flashlight to something a little bit nicer quality and preferably made from titanium, preferably something $150 or lower and not something super bulky. So we're kind of running into the same problem as before. There's a big gap in the flashlight market. You have things that are up to 100 and then you have like 300 and beyond. The 100 to 300 range is like a wasteland. There are some flashlights, but they're big. They're really big. So there's nothing to my knowledge that like really fits the bill here. There was one Lumentop, hang on. Just see if we can find it on the website. Okay, so rather than me bouncing around, FWAA, maybe? There's so many that I'm not familiar with. I'll say this, back to the Beta QRV2, it's higher end, but it's not super bright. There is Rovivon, and this is the A24, right? Yeah, A24 titanium. These are like $80, very, very bright, but it is kind of bulky, right? This is not a small flashlight. So there's that, and then there's this one. There is the E1 and the E4. The E4 is in titanium. It's $150. But this is a dual battery flashlight. So you have a AAA and a lithium polymer battery, and it switches. So if you run out of lithium, then it switches over to a AA and then you can, or a AAA, and you can pop another AAA in if that one dies. So this one's cool. Not my favorite. I just got this one in the mail yesterday from a Going Gear box, and I haven't really had any time with it, but yeah, I don't know, man. 150 is such a weird price range. I think my best guess would be a Raylight Pineapple in titanium, if you can track one down. The Raylight Triple Dawn is a giant flashlight, but it's really nice. Yeah, it's tough. EGTAC, the D3A is titanium. That's all I got. So Rovivon is gonna be, I think, one of the closest. Maybe a Raylight Pineapple, not the mini, the pineapple. So the mini pineapple is quite small, AAA size. The pineapple is a great size. It's more like this instead of this. If anybody else has a better recommendation in that 150 price range, let us know in the comments down below. But thank you again, Cole, for submitting and for sticking around for so long. The next submission comes from Josh Rivera, or josh.rivera77 over on Instagram. And in this photo, we have a Spyderco mini smock that has been modified by Gecko Customs. It has titanium scales, bronze liners, and the choil has been enlarged to fit your finger, and the Spidey hole has been enlarged as well. The flashlight is a Nightcore 10E2 in titanium with an Urban Carver's bead on it. He has a watch in the center of the photo. That is a Citizen Eco Drive in titanium. Says, I don't know much about it, but I got it on a cruise for $300. The TPT slide doesn't need much of an introduction. And then finally, the wallet to the far left of the photo is an open sea leather topsider. Josh says, I don't have too much to add, but I'd like to say I really love the direction you've been taking the channel and seeing more of your personality come through in the videos. It's a little past Thanksgiving, but I'm thankful for you. Well, thank you very much. That's very nice. And yeah, I have been enjoying what I do a lot more lately. Just, I don't know, I got through this funk. I feel really good right now. So thank you for noticing, and thank you for enjoying the new direction of the channel. Not everything is changing. I'm still doing these, but yeah, expanding and just enjoying myself a lot more. And I think that in turn makes these videos way more enjoyable for you guys, or at least I hope so. It seems so, just watching the channel and looking at things on the back end lately. Seems like you guys are enjoying it, which I'm very thankful for. Josh says, his question, I've been looking into getting a new watch. I know I might regret going down the rabbit hole, but that's my future self's problem. I'd like to get something in titanium to match the rest of my gear. My price range is around 500, but I'd be willing to go over that a little. Titanium's tricky. There's some bolder watches in titanium and a few other brands. Big Idea Design came out with a titanium field watch, and it's really nice, actually. And there are some James brand Timex collaborations that are also actually really nice. But in terms of just something I can recommend that's not gonna be sold out, like the James brand collaborations, RZE, I talked about them recently. They make some really great titanium watches, like really, really nice. And they are all titanium with a titanium bracelet. So they're very lightweight. I love their like brand color, which is this really poppy, yellowy orange. So yeah, check them out, RZE. Besides all that and micro brands and all of that jazz. Citizen obviously has some titanium models, Seiko does, but what I would recommend if you're willing to go over that 500, there's a Hamilton khaki filled titanium that is really, really nice, but I think they're like $900. So maybe $1,000. That's quite a bit more, double your budget, but that's the problem with titanium is most of these titanium non-micro brand watches are very expensive, like the Tudor Pelagos, and there's some Omegas. Like that's all I can recommend. Like so RZE, Hamilton, Big Idea Design, or James Brand Timex collaboration. So I hope that helps. Be careful with the watch world. It's a slippery slope, and thank you for submitting. The fifth and final submission this week comes from Juan Tapia. You can find him over on Instagram at Juan EDC_, or in the Discord as Juan EDC. In this photo, we have a Kaiser Mini Beglighter in titanium frag with a Punisher lanyard bead, a Chris Reeve Sabenza 31 with a Molnier lanyard bead by PDW, a Lynch Northwest Eddy V2.6 Anno, as well as a Keybar Stonewash Titanium. It has a Bang TI Titanium Punisher bottle opener, pocket pry bar multi keychain tool. Wow. And my apartment keys. Big Idea Design bolt action pin, a Raylight LAN in titanium. Oh, Raylight LAN. I forgot about Raylight LAN. That's the other one I was trying to think of. The LAN's gonna be harder to find in titanium, just for the record. There's an Olight i3T EOS, also in titanium, an ARC Company Rambler. There's also a Bang TI titanium carabiner with an Urban Carver's magnetic quick release holding his truck keys. The wallet you see here is an open sea leather topsider in English tan. And then there's an Apple Watch Series 3, AirPods Pro, and then finally an awesome Hank Segai High pattern master. I don't know what that means. I don't know what the master's for. Juan says, my Sabenza, I just recently got myself an early Christmas present and I use it to cut down cardboard, plastic, paper, and other things at either work or home. I make and sell lanyards for knives and other EDC items, and I make YouTube videos and review things. I love the work and videos you do. Thank you for everything. You're my biggest inspiration, and I thank you so much for it. You're amazing, man. Keep up the great work. I joined April of 2022 and I started with Civivi Elementum, and now I've got a Sabenza 31. Thanks. Well, don't thank me for that. I'm the bad influence that made you buy a Sabenza or want a Sabenza, I guess. I don't know. But thank you, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. He also says, I was wondering what type of organizer could have a belt clip that could hold my Sabenza, Lynch Northwest pry bar, a Raylight Mini Pineapple, and my Big Idea Design bolt action pin. If I'm missing something, it's a multi-tool, but I recently ordered a SOG power plant thanks to your recommendation. I want to improve my EDC by getting an organizer and watch that could handle kitchen prep and dishwashing so I can get away from using my Apple Watch. I work at a restaurant 7 days a week, 3 double shifts a week usually, and I need a good watch that can handle my type of job. So far, the Apple Watch has held up, but I want to get a titanium watch. What do you recommend, or any changes would you recommend I should make to my carry? So same thing for the titanium watches I just mentioned. You got RZE, Big Idea Design, the James Brand Timex collaborations, and if you want to splurge, maybe a Hamilton khaki field in titanium. They're all going to be about the same for dishwashing. Like I would say most watch manufacturers don't recommend dishwashing with a watch on if you're going to be doing it a lot, because the hot water is probably one of the worst things for the seals on a watch. Like I think it'll be fine, but at the same time, maybe not. So yeah, just know that wearing a watch is not usually super recommended if you're doing a lot of dishwashing and getting it very, very wet and hot at the same time for prolonged periods. And in terms of the organizer, I really think the only thing that comes to mind is going to be tail of knives, because you have the clip. I like the clip versus having one that's fixed on the belt. I really like being able to pop this whole thing off. But this is about as much gear as you're going to be able to squeeze into one. There are some that have the pin loop on the side and elastic, and you might be able to squeeze the pry bar here, but the problem is just that there's no good place to put the pry bar unless, hang on, I forgot it. I know that this is a full-size Lynch Northwest and not the 2.6 that you have, but it doesn't matter. It's all the same. The only place on this thing that you're going to be able to clip it is on the back, like this. So it's right here. There's no actual place to put it, but here it's actually out of the way. It's pressed against you, like it's going to stay there. So you could carry it like this if you wanted. That's really all I got, man. I hope that helps. That's the only thing I know of. There are a ton of different configurations on tail of knives, so you might be able to find one that fits your style or your needs better than this one, but this has been my favorite tail of knives holster. I don't know which model this is. I don't think it's an XL. Maybe it's an XL or a standard, but it's not the slim. I know that. but a Jax, a model of the Jax with the clip on the back is what I would recommend. Hopefully that helps and fits everything that you need it to. So this last one is not really a submission that I'm featuring, but rather a follow-up. That's what we'll call it. This is from a previous Complete My Carry. This comes from Logan Wassel or EDC Canson over on Instagram. And what they said is, a few months ago I was featured and asked for a watch that would fit a brass and leather EDC theme. I realized, as you mentioned, Taylor, that I had quite a specific watch style in mind. With your advice, as well as people's in the comments, I ended up coming across this one. While it's not actually brass, I think it matches everything extremely well. It's the first watch I've bought in years and I love it. I had mentioned that I was excited to show my brass kit once it was completed, and here it is. He also says, I love what you do, and I'm glad you were able to shake things up and beat your burnout. You seem much happier in recent videos. Carry on. Well, thank you, man. And thank you for following up. That's really cool. I like to see where we are now versus where we were. I'm glad we could help you find a watch that really suits your needs and fits your style and just filled that hole for you. That's why I'm doing this show, the Complete My Carry. I really like doing these. So thank you all for submitting. Continue to do so. Just go to edcw.co and submit your carry there. You might be featured in a future video. And once again, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. But that's it. If you want to check out anything you saw in this video, just hit the links in the description down below. Everything will be linked down there. Many of those are affiliate links and it will help support. You can also support by going to patreon.com/bestmedc. And once again, I want to thank our sponsor for this video, Tactile Turn. Go check them out. It's been a lot of fun watching Will and his team, all those guys over there, just crush it. They're learning and improving and making changes, and to see their products pop up in your photos. It's been a lot of fun to just watch it from afar and see how all of this has just developed. So thanks again to Tactile Turn, and go check them out. Follow them so you can see all their future drops and releases and everything that they're doing. But that's it. I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, carry on.